Today I've come to a place that I think sounds really interesting, and I hope you're going to agree with me as we go through this video. I'm in Somerset, pretty close to a town called Carey, and I'm at a place called Higher Farm. And why have I come to a farm, I hear you ask, possibly? Well, this place has got a farm shop, not just any ordinary farm shop though. But let's talk about the farm a little bit first. They've got 50 acres here, producing as much food as they can to go into the farm shop from the land here, but they're doing it in a really interesting way. They're trying to promote biodiversity, using different methods to modern farming methods. They're planting trees in amongst the crops because obviously a lot of modern farming, deforestation is an issue. They've decided to go the other way, plant trees in amongst what they're doing. It's an interesting way of doing things. But here, it's not just a working farm. You can visit around. They've got animals on site. They've got a wild swimming lake, all sorts going on here. But the CAFF is what we're here for today. And this should be a pretty special CAFF, I reckon, because it's in the Michelin guide. What is a farm shop cafe doing in the Michelin guide? I don't know, but we're going to find out today. Let's go take a look. We've come in and been seated, and I've got to say I quite like it. It's a very rustic feel to it. It's basically like a little converted barn. Probably seating for about 20, 25 people inside and more seated outside. But as you can see, there's like bits of wheat hanging down here from a little shelf above the fire. Thankfully the fire is not on today. We've also got the world's loudest coffee machine in the building, which ever since I sat down has been going 10 to the dozen. So hopefully you can hear me above it. It's really, really loud. The menu here is really interesting. They change it week by week, depending on what's seasonal and what they're sourcing from their local producers. I had a chat with the guy who's serving us here, and he was telling us that the butchers they use is just in Carey down the road, who work with sustainable farmers all around the Somerset areas. They grow a lot of the stuff on the farm here, of course, that gets used in here, all seasonal produce, but also sourced from other local suppliers. They're kind of doing the Clarkson thing, but in a less Daily Mail kind of way. There is black pepper on the table. Presumably that's come from overseas, but they do source as much as they can from the local area, and I like that. I like that. Okay, can we take the sourdough, please? And we'll grab the panis as well.
Yeah.
The sardines and the ricotta, yeah, please. And the ham, mash and parsley sauce sounds really good.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. And I think that'll probably do us for now, and then we'll come back to the puddings afterwards. There'll definitely be room for pudding, I reckon. There we are, folks. I've put an order in. Let me run through what I've ordered here. So I've gone with some bread and butter now. I had some bread and butter up at Norman's Neighbourhood Kitchen the other day. That was life-changing. That cheese focaccia with the Marmite butter, that was something else. We'll see how this stands up against that. I've gone with panis as well. And that's a little chickpea kind of cake thing. Regular viewers of the channel who saw when I did the restaurant review in Marmo in Bristol might remember I had it there, and it was delicious. So again, we got something to compare that to. Sardines with green sauce. I love sardines. You know me and oily fish. You've seen me have mackerel. You've seen me eat sardines. Sardines down at Rick Stein's in Padstow in his cafe recently as well. Oh, they were good. What else have we got? Ricotta and tomatoes. Kind of nice and light and summery. Very Italian kind of vibe to that. So I'm looking forward to trying that. Then we gone for something a bit more traditional, British, hearty. Ham, mash and parsley sauce. Oh, yes. Really, really looking forward to trying that. It sounds incredible. So that's what we've gone with food-wise. Hopefully a little bit of room left for dessert. There's only 3 little options on there, so I'm sure we can sneak 1 or 2 in, can't we? We have our first 2 items here. The bread. This is what they're calling Landrace sourdough and butter. Now, this had better be good, because it's £4.50 for 2 slices of bread and a little bit of butter. Not cheap. And here we have the panis, the little chickpea cake. It's been covered with sort of grated, I don't know, it looks like sort of pecorino to me more than parmesan, and some very finely diced chive on the top. I tell you what, the smell of it is incredible. That cheese and the chive just smells like a really good cheese and onion crisp. Love it. Right, so what we're going to do, try the bread and butter first. Move a little bit over to my plate. Have a little look at the butter here if you can. See all the sea salt sprinkled all over the top of it? Beautiful. So I get a little bit of that. Chilled, very chilled, so it's going to be a little hard to spread, I guess, but we'll try. There we go. Have a quick little bite of that. Try and get all the butter off of there because I need this knife for chopping up panisse in half. Here we go. That bread is beautiful. It has that nice little sourness that you get with a sourdough. The crust is lovely and chewy. And that butter is something else. Right, let's move this out the way a second. We're going to move on to this panisse here. And you can see it's kind of covered in all this cheese. What I want to do, cut it in half, and you can see how it looks inside. Maybe. There we go. So if I spin that around, take a little look inside there. You're seeing it before I do. How does it look? You tell me. Oh, yeah. That does look tempting, doesn't it? Do you know what? I think I'm just going to pick a piece up and go like that. Get as much of this cheese on there as we can. And just do it in one bite. Here we go. Local wildlife coming to check it out again. Been a regular theme this year, isn't it? That's really nice. That chickpea gives it like almost a hummusy kind of taste, but it's very smooth. And then sort of cooked, sort of oven baked into this kind of little loaf thing. But it's the cheese and the chives that really make it. They bring everything alive. That is very good. Camera person, you're going to have to try this. So there's little snacky bits done. We're into the kind of starters here. The ricotta with tomatoes. And look at the way the ricotta's been served there. It's going to be piped onto the plate and topped with all these beautiful tomatoes and a bit of pickled red onion. That does look very inviting. I think that's £14, that dish. And we have the sardines here. 3 sardines. You've got a lovely oil on there, nice green sauce and a few leaves from the farm. Very, very good. I think I'll start with the ricotta one because obviously the sardines are going to have a sort of stronger, punchier flavour, and I don't want to take away from what might be some more delicate flavours in here. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this without making it look a complete mess. I think we're just going to go for it. So, let's say we've got pickled onion on the top there. We get a nice piece of tomato, a bit of pickled onion, and the ricotta all together. Oh. All the tomato juice is sinking down into that ricotta where they've piped it on there. So you've got these little pools of tomato juice in there. Oh, yes. Right, let's get a bit of this onion as well. And a bit of the herb. That's delicious. There's an oil on there that almost tastes pesto-y. Definitely a basil element in there. And the pickle from that onion really works nicely with everything. It kind of cuts through the creaminess of the cheese. And like I say, you can see on there where you've got all that tomato juice getting down into the ricotta, giving it great, great flavour. What it could do with, in my opinion, is a little bit of pepper. So we'll put a little bit on a piece here. There we go. Doesn't need any salt. Let's just see if that just zhuzhes everything up that tiny little bit more. I mean, it's tasty enough without, but... It does help it a little bit. So it doesn't really need it, but it just adds another little layer. 3 sardines in the serving here. 1, 2, 3. Covered in that green sauce. Let's just see, yeah, they've been obviously gutted. Now, sardines, of course, have got tiny little bones in there, but you don't have to worry about them. They're so little. Here we go. Saying that, These have still got the backbone in. So maybe I'll have to eat it a bit more carefully. There we are. We'll open it up and we'll take the backbone out. That's a smart move, Greeno. Come on. Use your brain, sunshine. Yeah, and that's going to give us those nice fillets. We'll put the bone to one side there. There we go. That's going to be easier to eat, isn't it? Tell you what, though, the flavour's great. That little herby element in there is delicious, and the sardines are very, very fresh. Here's the addition we're going to go with on this one, if I can get any juice out of it. Little bit of lemon there. Again, doesn't really need anything, but it might just bring another little element. It does. Just a nice freshness and sharpness. That is really nice, especially with that kind of herby element on there, the green herby element. It's not like sort of pesto-y, it's very English tasting. It's parsley and those sort of herbs in there. Yeah, this is right up my strasser. The ham, mash and parsley sauce has arrived. Now this is not what I was expecting it to look like, I have to say. We have got what looks kind of like a piece of belly pork. If that's been cured like the ham, that should be really interesting. Really nice, smooth-looking mashed potato there. And the parsley sauce, that's not like parsley sauce I have at home with ham or with a meat pie sometimes. Beautiful green colour, and obviously split with some parsley oil there as well. Looks very, very interesting. Now this plate has come in at £23. So again, not cheap, but if the quality is there, yeah. I'm going to cut this open down the middle. Fly, go away. This is my lunch. I'm paying for it, not you. Here we go. Well, it's cutting like ham. You've kind of got the, what's the word I'm looking for with ham? Not stringiness, but you kind of know what I mean there. The way it pulls. Let's try the ham as much by itself as we can first. That has got a beautiful flavour. It's got that kind of dry texture of ham, but without being overly dry. And still moist enough in the mouth. Let me try a bit with this parsley sauce. It's quite a subtle taste to it, but it really does complement the ham. I think ham and parsley sauce is a great combination. With gammon, don't you? So, that's really nice. Mash. Now again, you've got the little chives over the top of there, which are going to add a little bit of flavour to it. That looks really smooth mash, doesn't it? Have a little look at that. Little mountain of mash there. Really smooth looking. And it is perfectly smooth. Quite a solid mash. It's not like overly chefy one with loads of cream and butter and stuff in. Just a good, proper, traditional mash. I'm not saying there's no butter or cream in there, it's just not loads and loads and loads. It's been made a bit more traditionally, but it's very, very smooth. That is a very nice plate of food. It's going to go very nice with this beer. Right, I'm going to crack on with this. Share a little bit with the camera person over there. And I reckon there'll be room for dessert. We ordered a clotted cream cheesecake, and it's kind of a Basque-style cheesecake. You can see here, kind of like oven-baked, I suppose. You've got a nice, not a crust on it, but just where the heat's got to it. And in this little bowl over here is a sorbet. This is a roasted apricot sorbet, according to the menu. Sounds interesting, right? Bloody coffee machine's at it again. Driving me insane. Whenever I'm not filming, it's not going. Whenever I am, it starts up again. Okay, into the cheesecake. Now, I've got to be quick with this, I've been told, because the person who wants to put the camera down in a second wants to eat it. That's good. Wow. The little kind of burnt element on the cream really gives it an intense flavour. It doesn't taste of clotted cream so much, that just gives it the richness. I mean, it's not Jim's cheesecakes, but it's not far off. That is excellent. That really is. I might not give it to the camera person in the end. I might keep that for myself. Sorbet time. Roasted apricot sorbet. I like the sound of that. They're actually sort of putting a bit more effort into it. Rather than just putting the fruit in as it comes, it's going through a process first. That should help intensify the flavour somewhat, shouldn't it? Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Doctor. Doctor Who. Remember that joke from school? That's what it feels like here. Knock, knock, knock the whole blooming time. That is incredible. It's so intense of apricot. Perfectly smooth. Wow. I'm struggling to think of a better sorbet that I've ever had anywhere. I'll sum up outside in a minute. These desserts are right up there with as good as any we've had anywhere. What beautiful surroundings we're in here. I've come outside to talk to you now, and here we have the market garden that they're using for a lot of the produce that they're using inside the restaurant there. I really enjoyed that experience. I think the food in here was very, very good. The service was nice. But I kind of like the informal nature of it. Kind of rustic. It got really busy in there, so it's obviously very, very popular around these parts. Yeah, it was just a nice, relaxing, informal meal with very nice food and presented pretty well as well. Like the little panisse things on that funky ceramic tower. It looked pretty. It did look pretty. The one thing, though, me and camera girl were talking about this, is that whilst everything was delicious, in a lot of cases we could think of an example of something we'd had better somewhere else. Like the sardines. I think I preferred the sardines at Rick Stein's because they'd already butterflied them and taken out the bone. The bread. We've already had a better bread up at Norman's Neighbourhood Kitchen with the Marmite butter and everything. So whilst everything was really good, there are examples of something slightly better elsewhere. But as a combination for a meal, yeah, really good, really enjoyable. Not cheap though, not cheap. In total, the bill came to £80 and 10 pence. Now bear in mind, we only had one main meal in there, the ham, and a couple of the startery type things, the ricotta and the sardines, and then some snacks, the bread and the little panisse, and a couple of drinks. So not cheap, definitely not cheap. I mean, the ham dish, for example, £23 for the piece of ham, the mash, and the parsley sauce. But they were really good. And in a way, the meal kind of seemed to get better, in my opinion, as we moved further along. I think the ham was probably the standout savoury dish. And the two sweets, that kind of Basque-style clotted cream cheesecake and that intense sorbet, possibly the two best things in the whole lot. Really, really enjoyable they were. So, yeah, it got better as we went along. But, as I say, not the best of anything we've had anywhere, like the cheesecake. Great, it's not Jim's cheesecakes. God, can you hear now? I've got geese at me. At the coffee machine behind me in the restaurant, and now I've got geese trying to interrupt me. It's supposed to be bloody tranquil round here. Anyway, so the whole bill, including a service charge of 12.5%, which I was happy to pay because the service was really good, £88 and 44 pence. Is it worth it? Just about, yeah, I think so. But I've got to come up with a score. And as I said, not everything is the best we've had. But I'm going to say it is a good 4 out of 5. Easy 4 out of 5. Possibly nudging a 4.1, you know, just over the 4. Does it get Greeno's green light? Yeah, it does. I really like the ethos of what they're doing here. Growing all the stuff here on the site, or as much as they can. The way they're doing it, they're trying to repopulate the area with trees while they're doing it. Bit of carbon capture going on, all that sort of thing. Trying to reverse the deforestation effect in their own little way on this little patch of land. I like that. Really, really good ethics. Nice organic farming. And doesn't it look nice? So Greeno's green light. We're giving it a 4.1 out of 5. Happy boy. Right, if you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed our lunch, don't forget to click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help the channel. And take a little look around the vault. There's a few of these kind of Michelin-ish places, but not Michelin starred in the vault now. Quite a lot of neighbourhood type restaurants, that sort of thing. I've got to say, I'm really enjoying visiting them, and I hope you're enjoying watching those videos. Right, subscribe, ding your bell, all that kind of good stuff. Don't forget all that. Where to next, though? Do you know what? It'd be nice to have a wander around this field. I don't know if we're allowed to, but I'm going to go and see what they're doing, see what they're growing. I'll see you next time, folks.